This video is brought to you by my friends over at Piano. Check out the link in the description and get a completely free 30-day trial and support the channel. See you tomorrow. So this video was brought to you by my friends over at Piano. I do encourage you to check out the link in the description, get a completely free trial over there. It helps to support the channel and it helps to take you where you deserve to be in your musical journey. So I thought I'd just talk briefly about the harmony to After You've Gone, or at least take a look at how easy it can be to express those chords when we have this more visual representation of harmony. So the first chord in After You've Gone is a C major, or like a C major 6, and I think that's the beauty of playing the piano, is as long as we can see our root note, there's lots of ways that you can think about this. I could play my root note and then start filling in notes around that. So if this is my root, this is my 6, this is my 6, this is my 5, this is my 3. So this would be a C6 chord, and I should be able to do that if this is my root. That's my 3rd, that's my 5th, that's my 6th. Now realistically this all comes from scale knowledge, right? If I can play a scale, here's my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and finally my root note again. So because of that I can play inversions of my chord quite easily. And actually, I mean, to be honest, they're quite easy to do. I'm just taking the first voicing and then I'm keeping these 3 notes, taking the note that was on the bottom, putting on the top. It's going to become, which becomes, and then, so all great easy ways to visualize chords. So if I take one of those voicings, like this one for example, play the melody. Now the chord changes to a C minor 6. Knowing that I'm playing a C6 or C major 6 here, I can see the difference between those two chords is the 3rd. And because I know my intervals, because I know what notes I'm playing, I know that a C major has an E in it, and a C minor 6 or a C minor chord is going to have an E flat. So by just changing that one interval, it's nice and easy. And again, if I play my melody with it, put a bit of rhythm under it. Sounds like our chords, right? Then when the chord changes to a G, or G6, Same principle. My hand was here. Well, if I see this note as being G, I could start to build my chord around it. I could play this. This is going to be a G6 chord. Or maybe I'll play this. These are all going to sound a little bit dense. Really, we want a bass player when you're doing something like this. But the same principle is going to be true. I could jump down and play... Let's play the same voicing. The same shape. Again, my melody. Too muddy, right? Let's play this voicing. So just piecing those chords together visually like that. Same idea again. So if I have my hand on that G6 chord, the next chord is an E7. Well, again, I can look at what I'm playing and say, ah, there's E. That's the flat 7 of E. That's the 5th of E. The 3rd of E would be here. So now I can piece the melody together. Yeah, we can hear the chords there, we can hear the melody, and we can hear how those two things interact. And that's before we start dealing with the fact that when I play a C6 chord, it gives me an idea of, you know, what my available melody notes are. What am I playing here? The 3rd, 5th, 6th, and come into rest on that 7th. So this is really like major 13 chord. I play you know, beautiful. We can get sound and really hear these intervals and focus on where does this melody note want to go. But of course, that's a subject for another day. So hope you enjoyed that. Please do check out Joscho Stephan, and please do check out the link to Piano in the description. Thanks again to Piano for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you for another one tomorrow.